Hey my loves, welcome to my channel. My name is Mary. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the bad money habits that kept me broke for such a long time. Make sure you watch to the end because I'm going to be dropping some gems that you'll most likely be able to relate to. And some of these things you may be doing them to you, but you might not realize that they're costing you so much money and causing you to be broke. The first bad money habit that was keeping me broke was not separating my emergency fund from my savings account. Now, the problem with that was that because I had everything in one account, which was my savings account, whenever I ran out of money from my current account, I would go to my savings account and move money from that account to my current account. So obviously, my savings account kept going down. But then when I actually separated my savings account from my emergency fund, the money in my savings account kept increasing because if I needed extra money, I always had a £500 buffer from my emergency fund. I always made sure that my emergency fund had at least a minimum of £500. And then obviously I would keep putting money into my emergency fund, but I'd also have money in my savings account. So that way I'd be having more money. The next bad money habit that kept me broke was not keeping a budget that tracks my daily expenses. Now, the problem with this was that every time I go out, I'd make little expenses that to me, they weren't much of anything. They were like £1 here, £2 there, £5 here. And I was like, oh, it's fine. You know, it's just like £5. Or so I thought. But then at the end of the day, by the time the week ends, I would have made at least £100 worth of these quote unquote little expenses. So all of that adds up. Whereas if I had kept a daily budget, I would have been able to monitor my expenditure and know when I'm spending too much of those quote unquote little expenses and know when to rein it in. The next bad money habit that kept me broke, this one might surprise you, but it was paying for a monthly phone contract instead of just buying the phone outright and paying for SIM-only contracts. I worked out that if I was paying £100 a month for 3 years, I'd be paying double the price of the phone, whereas if I'd bought the phone for £1,500 and then paid it a £10 SIM-only contract, I would have been saving so much money. So that's my little tip for you. The next bad money habit that kept me broke, in fact, this one is more like a money trap, is Uber Eats. The amount of money I spent on that app is so shameful. It's so embarrassing. Like, I would never even utter the words. I'm just like, whew. I could have really started a business with the amount of money I spent on that app. So if you're like me, and hopefully you won't be like me, but if you're like me and you eat on Uber Eats so much, it's shameful, go and cook. I'm joking. But try and cook more. Do something that's gonna reduce the amount of money you spend on the app. Do you know how much money you're giving these people? The amount of money I give these people, just it upsets me. But I'm just like, I love my convenience. The next bad money habit that kept me broke was shopping at cheap shops like Shein and Primark. Don't get me wrong, I love those shops. But the problem is, when I go to shop at somewhere like Karen Millen, I know that I'll come out spending something around, £200 to £500 because maybe I bought a dress and a jacket. But I know that those two things that I bought will be able to last me a decade because the quality of those items are so good. But when I go to somewhere like Shein, I plan on buying 2 items and I plan on buying 2 items and spending a maximum of say £50. But I end up buying 20 items and I've already spent over £200. Make it make sense. And this happens every single time I shop on this shop. So instead of me going to Karen Millen regularly and buying my 1-2 items that would consistently last me a long period of time, I go to Shein consistently and pay over £200 for clothing items that won't last for a long period of time. And because they won't even last for a long period of time, you have to keep on rebuying them over and over again if you love those things. So it just doesn't make sense to shop at cheap shops for items that just you need them to last for a long period of time. If it's for something quick and easy, like socks or I don't know, anything that's doesn't really matter and doesn't cost that much money in general, then yes, you can go to those shops and buy the cheap things. But then if you want that item to last for a long period of time, just go to somewhere that that they produce high quality items. The next bad money habit that kept me broke was getting my hair done by Instagram stylists. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't have beef with you guys. I love to look good. I love when my hair looks great. But must you guys come and finish us with the price? Just why? Why? My only tip for you is to get crafty and learn to do your hair yourself. Because honestly, I wouldn't say I'm the best at doing hair, but I've learned to just like make it work, because I can't be spending like upwards of £700 just to get my hair done every single time. This is why that I've just decided to learn to do my hair myself for the most part. There's a lot that I still can't do, but if I want to look good, I just try and do it myself. I go on YouTube and it teaches me every single thing that everything that I know about my hair. I think I've done a good job today, but everything that I kind of like know about my hair, makeup, and everything in general, I've learnt by myself. The next money habit that kept me broke was buying things impulsively instead of saving up to buy certain items. Now for me, I'm someone that loves to smell good. I like to feel amazing. And in order for me to feel amazing, I need to smell good. So I don't mind spending something like £140 for a perfume. But the point is, instead of just going ahead and buying it willy-nilly, I actually need to go ahead and save up a certain amount of money each month to be able to afford that perfume. It's not just because I want it, I should go ahead and just buy it immediately. The next money habit that kept me broke was doing my groceries online instead of in store. Now, I don't drive, so whenever I shop in store, I'm not likely to buy tons of food because I'm going to have to carry it home, and I don't want to stress myself or struggle with all these groceries. However, when I'm shopping online, I'm just like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. What do I think this is? Like, am I made of money? I mean, I could be, but we're not there just yet. I spend so frivolously, and I just like, it's not even on my list. I work from a shopping list, and it's like I've bought my entire shopping list, and I'm just, oh, this looks fun. Oh, let's try this out today. And because I'm very adventurous, I'm just like, oh, yes, it's a good day to try something new. And guess what? It's not even like when it comes, I'm like reaching for it. I have no business doing any of that. So shop from your shopping list and try and like go in store. The next money habit that kept me broke was not being consistent and taking the necessary action required for me to achieve my financial goals. Now, what I mean by that is I've been meaning to add a further stream of income into my life, but I haven't been consistent enough to actually see the results. So that's something I'm working on currently. The next money habit that kept me broke was trying to keep up with influencer lifestyles and the things that they had. Now, in truth, unless you're trying to treat yourself, or you have the money like that, or you've budgeted to make a certain purchase, you really don't, have any business spending so frivolously like they do, because they're doing it to maintain their lifestyle, the persona that they're actually trying to present to us. So we don't have that lifestyle. We're not influencers. I mean, you could be an aspiring influencer, but that doesn't mean go and waste all your money to try and, impress someone that doesn't really care. No one cares, and at the end of the day, it's your money and your money that's going down. They probably don't even have to pay for like half of these things, they're probably getting it covered by the brands that are endorsing them. So just think about these things before you make all these purchases, and I'm talking to myself as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out my self-growth playlist where I give you amazing tips to improve your life.